Hello Panda Nation, it's me again Jeffrel for Art Panda TV. Today I am painting Kim Go-yeon, so please stay tuned. Hello Panda Nation, Happy New Year, and I am starting my year with a painting. So now I started with the background using the Da Vinci brush, and I am using here Daniel Smith watercolor, and then the journal is Strathmore watercolor journal. So most of my paintings I start from the background, and if you notice the paint is dripping because I was using a tilted easel here, so that's why it's dripping. There are times I'm getting a hard time painting if it's really flat, so I have to have it tilted, and most of the time I'm getting better results if I have tilted easel. So there you go. I used here quinacridone gold, and then dark green and some blues to be my background. So most of the time I don't make it hard for myself for the background. I just have to combine some paints or some colors just to make sure it will be complementing with the outfit or the subject. We will start with face. So what I usually do when I start painting is I paint with the lightest tone, but I always start with the creases or the those areas where shadows are present. Okay, remember that you have to start light yet. Okay, don't go darkest when you're not sure, but if you're sure, then and if you know your style, it's fine. But for me, what I'm sharing to you is what or how I do it. So I start with the lightest tone. I usually have a combination of yellow, brown, and orange for the face skin tone. And then now I'm using a smaller brush, a Raphael map brush, and map. Okay. So now I waited for the paint to dry. So since some of the paints are still wet, I go directly to the eyes because I always have to start with the eyes so I would see the darkest and the lightest tone. So that's actually my clues for um, mixing colors because I am really having a hard time if I don't see any darkest tone yet. So my tip for you is you have to decide which are the areas where you will put the lightest tone and which areas would be the darkest tones. So most of the time the darkest tones are on the eyes and on the darker part of the nose, right? And some on uh, the the sides close to the hair or the one on the smile near the lips. Okay, so now if you notice, I'm now starting to glaze or put another paint on top of the other. But what I do is I have to wait first for the paint to dry because you can't do that or you can't do the glazing technique if um, it's still wet. So we call it the glazing technique. Okay. Now I'm trying to figure out which I would like to paint. Okay, so now I'll go to the ear and then I'm painting the darkest parts. And then most of the time for the skin tone, I'd like to have a different color. I use quinacridone and orange. So it will not always be boring or it will have a different color. So now I'm starting to put or color the shadows. Now going to the dark or mid tone. So there you go. If you notice those areas where it's shiny or the shiny part of the face or where the sun or the ray of light is actually touching the skin, I don't paint that because there's no transparent white, or there's no transparent um, uh, white paint, because um, most of the time, some are just painting it with opaque white, but for me, I don't do that. This is just my technique as I progress on my watercolor journey. So now I'm trying to put some more paint on the other areas of the face, just to even out the skin tone. And now we have to wait again for the paint to dry. And now I am going back to the eyes. Actually had a hard time here with the eyes because I felt like I made a mistake putting or using a different brush for the eyes. I thought I could have used a finer detailer for that, but I think it's always good, like if you make a mistake you can always use it as a learning experience, right? Especially me, it's been a while that I have not painted with watercolor. I've actually switched from digital to watercolor from time to time, and now I am detailing the creases on the near the lips. So here, I did another mistake. I put a darker tone for the lips. So what I just used is to tap it with a napkin or a tissue, and then make sure, guys, whenever you're doing the lips, always think of it like going again from light to dark, because it will not be complementing if the lips look really dark. So here I just use some coral red and more of orange and more water loaded on the brush. Okay. So this painting was is actually not intended to be really that detailed, but I just wanted to have at least a practice, or what do you call that? Like my first painting for the year. So I just make it light, and I don't wanna put too much pressure myself. So now I'm starting to put the darkest tones here on some of the areas on the teeth and the mouth and on the nose. So again, for if you're not sure of the color or the tone, if it's dark, light, or mid, always go from light to dark. So now I am trying to build up or being confident to paint the darkest tone, which is the hair. So for the hair, you can always also be creative or also be yourself when painting the hair. There's no limit. You can, sometimes I use pink, sometimes I use purple. And for this one, I use combination of yellow or quinacridone gold and then some brown. Actually, the color of the hair is black, but I just wanna make it different, but still look a little realistic or look real. So I am using again the Da Vinci paint. I really love this brush because it can load so much paint, so you don't have to go back and forth to your palette just to get some paints. But the trouble here is if you are not using much of those of those paint, then definitely you're wasting your paint. So just make sure that whenever you're using this kind of brush or mop brush or any squirrel brush, be careful not to load too much paint, because at the end you will just wash it off your brush. Okay, so now I am trying to build up the darker part. I will just wait until it dries. So again, for those areas that are shiny or having the light touch the area, I will leave that off for now. Okay, so I'm trying to put some more dark tones or dark paint. I use here Payne's Gray with a combination of quinacridone gold and some yellows, so I can create a different color for the hair. Okay, now you're seeing a different angle. I tilted my my easel because I really had a hard time. Always have a hard time looking down to the paper. I'm more comfortable of having it tilted. But before on my time lapses, I tried to adjust. But right now, I wanted to show you how I really do it, my style. So now I'm trying to put some detail on the crease on the nose and on the teeth. And I'm now looking at a better picture here. For the brows, I usually have a little detail, but right now I feel like it will not match the painting, so I will not make it detailed. Right, so I see here there's a spot of green paint. I can't remove it anymore. I didn't notice that while I was painting. Now I'm going to paint the jacket with quinacridone pink with a little purple and maroon. There it goes. So sometimes I don't copy the exact color of what I have in the uh, reference photo, but it's just fine because for me, I don't want to be boxed in that reference photo, but sometimes it's also a challenge to get the exact color because especially if you have limited colors, it's not always the perfect one that will match the reference photo. So here now I again go back and use the um, Da Vinci brush. Now I'm waiting it for the painting to get dried and looking at something to add on this painting. So this is almost like 70% done for this painting. And then, by the way, guys, if you have questions or anything you want to comment, just type it there in the comment box, and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Now, going back to this watercolor painting, I really love the character of Kim Go-Eun here in Goblin. That is why I am inspired to paint her. And for those Korean fans or not really fans but got hooked with Korean novellas because of the pandemic, I am one of those who have been helped by inspiring stories, beautiful sceneries, and beautiful cinematography by the Koreans. So I actually there are people who are not or who don't like to watch Korean novellas, but they feel like it's mushy. But for me, it's good. So you try it if you have time. Try Goblin. This is where I got this photo from. Okay, so now I'm going to detail the jacket. Or oh, now I'm going um, to the red shawl. Okay, so what actually I had in my mind was to make this painting really detailed, but I feel like I don't want to put too much pressure to myself because it really takes a lot of time painting watercolor. You have to wait for it to dry. You have to be careful with the brush. So here, I tried to be just a little detailed on the shawl, but I feel like I actually failed here on making it look like um, a shawl, but I feel like I have to do a lot more layering and a lot more of the detail using the red, the Parallel Red, and the Payne's Gray. So that's a combination that I use here for the darker portion or the darker areas on the outfit. So for and if you look at it, it's really it really takes time, like for you to paint with details. Actually, with this painting, I spent 1 hour and I think 20 minutes to finish this one, or 1 hour and 15 minutes to finish this one. This is actually sped up. And then now I am trying to put a little detail on this one until I finish. So please enjoy watching, and if you like this video, I hope I was able to share some of my tips and tricks and how I do painting. I have a lot more on my painting videos, so you might want to check them out. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can actually share this to your friends who are into arts or who like to start painting using watercolor. I hope to give more of the basics of watercolor painting soon, and enjoy the rest of the video, and thank you for watching. Please stay safe wherever you are. Bye.